I have 2 o'clock, and that's our scheduled time. So if everybody will, that's interested, will kind of take their seats and let's get ready. First of all, do the members have? Everybody has a copy of the bill. Okay. I'll ask Chairman Williamson. Bruce, how about you? Would you mind saying what number is that? Oh.
Number 14, you're going to click on it with the mouse.
Yeah, just say a prayer. You don't have to do it with a microphone. Thanks, sir. I thought it was appropriate since it's your bill. You can do the praying. Why don't you go ahead and take the podium, and in case anybody, I think they like for us to use those. And again, I'll remind the committee, this is House Bill 143, of which we had the hearing last week. The way we'll handle this is a very brief reminder of what the bill includes, about 1 minute maybe. If Representative Williamson could do it that way. And then if we have any questions from the committee, we'll take them, but there'll be no other testimony from anybody else. But we are going to vote on this bill today. So Representative Williamson, if you just give us a brief reminder of what this bill is about in case anybody wasn't there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bring before you for the second hearing, House Bill 143. It is the annual Department of Banking and Finance. A lot of people like to refer to it as a housekeeping bill. This bill is part of a multi-year effort between the Commissioner's Office and our financial services institution, state of Georgia, working with a code review task force on the banking side and another group from the credit union side. But it comes with the endorsement of our bankers, our credit unions, our mortgage bankers, and this bill doesn't happen to touch the money service businesses like the previous 2 years did, but there's no objections from any interested parties. Since it is a multi-year, basically a 3-year kind of cleanup of our banking code, bringing us into the 21st century, we're down to sort of some of the smaller, finer points in the code's cleanup. But some of the things this bill is going to do is just going to authorize, assuming it passes, is authorize state chartered trust companies for the first time. I went into a little bit of the detail about how current code says that trust companies have to be contiguous states with Georgia. This will remove that sort of arcane exemption right now, allow the state banking department to charter trust companies if they feel like their application merits it. It's going to clean up a little bit about the way that the lending limits are calculated by our financial institutions. It can be rather complex, as some of the bankers in the room can testify to, and this is going to make it a little bit cleaner way to do that. It drops down and cleans up some things, like we've had a little discussion in the first meeting about the fact that current Georgia law says that a child of any age can open a banking account in their name with or without a parent's approval, and that's a little bit unusual, to say the least. Although it's allowable, a financial institution does not have to accept an account from for example, an 8-year-old, but this would codify that anyone 16 years or older can have an account in their own name. There's some other smaller parts. One thing, it's going to grant the department subpoena powers for third-party service providers who might provide services under contract to the regulated financial institutions for the purposes of basically, this is work that could be done in-house, but because of the cost savings involved, they might contract with third-party service providers who are going to be subject to the same regulations, but this would make sure that the department can get the information in a timely manner that they need from third-party service providers in the event of an audit or such as that. I could keep on rambling, Mr. Chairman, but we did have a pretty thorough vetting of the bill during the first meeting. I'd probably be more appropriate for me just to answer questions if anybody has
Yeah,
some.
are there any questions from the members who might not have got a chance to answer a question, or having looked over the bill had a question that didn't get asked? Or are there any at this time? Any questions for the author of the legislation? Okay, if there are no questions, is there a question? No? Well, that would be appropriate if it's the right one. Let me hold on.
Mr. Chair, I do move do pass.
We have a motion for due pass on House Bill 143. Is there a second? We have a second to the motion. Any further discussion?
I assume that's the right motion.
That's the right motion, yes, sir. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, those in favor of due pass motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. The motion carries. House Bill 143 has a due pass recommendation from the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Yeah, thank the author and thank the members. We are adjourned.